Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana, and I am live from my Beehive studio this morning. I have a lot going on this week, so if I blab a lot today, please forgive me. And if you want to get to the actual stamping part, if you're watching this as a recording, please feel free to bump ahead. Some people actually like to know what's going on in my life, and that's for you. But if you don't want to know all of that, I absolutely forward ahead to where am actually stamping. So this week has been, actually this last week has been crazy. Right after last week's live, my son has been complaining of jaw pain. He's 18 and he's going off to college in a few weeks. And we took him to the dentist. So I had to get an appointment for him really quickly. Took him to the dentist, and it turns out his wisdom teeth are pushing on his back teeth, and I think it's causing pain in his jaw, which is radiating up to his head, causing him headaches. Now, we got him in, and then we got him into a specialist, of course, like a dental surgeon. And so now tomorrow he is having his wisdom teeth out, which will give him enough time to do it before he goes off to college. But I tell you, when you think you have your summer mapped out, of course, there's always a wrench that's thrown into the whole plan. So there's that going on. And then I have my BOGO sale going on. I have a annual buy one, get one sale. And this is the 4th year I've been doing it. It is up on my blog now. If you click over to my blog from the link in the description, there is a link in my blog post to my BOGO sale. Basically, what it is you choose my retired products. You can choose any amount that you want. Say you choose like $50 worth of my retired products. You get those products for free when you place an equal order in my Stampin' Up store. So you're buying new products, but you get my old products for free. So you kind of buy one, get one. So that's how it works. There's a big long explanation on my blog. Maybe it's not long, but hopefully it's very clear once you read that. And also I have instructions on how the whole sale works. And then I have my products page where I have all the products listed. Now, I haven't gone in there yet today to update the page for people that have had new requests. The sale's been going on since yesterday, but there's still a lot of good stuff available. So if you're interested in that, please click on over to there later and check that out. That sale takes a good long time to set up. I have to pull all my retired stuff. I have to organize it. I have to put it online and stuff, so that takes a long time, and then the sale actually takes a long time. So I really scrambled to get my card done for today. I really like the way it turned out, and I have an alternate for you too, because as I was creating my card, I thought this would make a really good school card, a back to school card. So, and I know we don't really have maybe back to school cards, but I know that there's a lot of teachers out there, and I thought this might be a cute little card to pre-stamp for your students and maybe have them color it themselves. So there's just a little thought that I had while I was creating this card. So that was my big blah 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 for today. We've got wisdom teeth, we've got BOGO sale, my son's going away in a few weeks, and it's just a little crazy, but I'm hanging in there. Okay, let's talk about today. Today is the day when we take a card of the catalog. It's called Casing Tuesday. We take a card of the catalog and we give it a makeover. There's a group of us that do this. We choose the same card. So we're not choosing all different cards from the catalog. It is one card per week that we target and we give it a makeover. Now, some people, if you love the card and you have the stamp set, you can go ahead and make over the card exactly, or make the card exactly as it is. More often than not, we don't have all the supplies needed to make that particular card. So we choose alternate supplies, or in my case, I like to challenge myself and choose alternate stamps and alternate colors and recreate the card. But when you look at the bones of the card, you will see some similarities of the card to the original card, and that is the challenge. And it's great for beginners because beginners can kind of follow along more easily. We also have a layout with measurements that you can follow. And for people that have been stamping for a while, it is great because it gets us out of our comfort zone. I'll tell you that this card this week, I would not have picked it as a card to give a makeover to. It's a very pretty card, but it's not my style. So what do you do? How do you, as a stamper, advance? You look at other people's styles and you try to use them to enrich your stamping. So that's what I do when I have a card that maybe isn't my style. I turn it into my style, but I still take some of the essence of the card that was there to create my card. So let me show you what the card is. I have some photos. Here is the card. It's easier to see up on my screen than to show you in the catalog. So there is the card. It doesn't, on first glance, it doesn't have too much to it. Those perfume bottles and some stamping in the background. And it's a very subtle card, very elegant card, but it's not my style. Generally, I would not stamp this card. So here is the layout for the card, and Catalina, she's the one who started this, and she's in my downline team. And we, after about a year of she and I, we partnered together to do this Casing Tuesday thing, and now we also have bloggers that blog with us, so it's grown every year. And so this is kind of cool, but she does the layouts for us, and she simplified it pretty easy, so you can play around a little bit with the measurements if your stamps don't match exactly, but that kind of gives you a basic idea of the measurements and the layout. Okay, I'm back. So let me show you my card. Okay, here is my card. I've switched cameras over here. I don't know. I need light. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light on here. Light. My one camera in particular is very dark for some reason. That has a little glow in the center when I put my main lights on. Let's see if that helps a little bit. I don't like that little light. Let me move this one out of the way. Okay. I didn't like the little refraction of the light in there. So hopefully that gives you enough visual to see what I'm doing. So here is my card. Turn this a little bit. Sorry, adjusting my camera so it's kind of a little bit more straight on. Okay. Here's my card, and you might look at this card and say, Brenda, I know that Stampin' Up catalog really, really well, and I have never seen that stamp set before. And you would be right. You would be right. It is not in the annual catalog at all, but it is in a brochure called Experiencing Creativity, and this stamp set is available for purchase. So if you go in the online store, or if you put it in on an order, it goes on an order. So it is fully available, but it is not in the annual catalog, and it is not in the upcoming holiday catalog. So you will not find it there. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about where this stamp set came from and why I used it today. I love it. It is so cute. It is in this brochure called Experiencing Creativity. Stampin' Up created this brochure to help beginner stampers so that we could show them something that was a little bit more easy, because when you get this big catalog, it is quite a thick catalog, and you look at it for the first time, it is wonderful, but it is overwhelming. So they created a little bit more of a beginner's brochure to kind of give everyone an easier kind of in on some projects and stuff that they could do easily. So let's take a little look real quick at the brochure. It just gives you some things about the difference between our cling stamps and our photopolymer stamps. It talks about Paper Pumpkin, which is a great monthly kit for beginners and for people who are not beginners too, but it's a great monthly kit because it's all inclusive, so that's great. And then it goes into some projects that you can do. And this is a stamp set. Delightful Day is a stamp set in the main catalog, but it also has some projects, some sample projects, and it tells you exactly what you need to make these projects. And it's a nice price point. So for $48.50, you can get all the things that you need to make these little boxes. So I think that is fabulous. Then there's another stamp set here that is not in the main catalog, but you might see this and go, wow, this is actually, it matches something in the catalog. And the stamp set here is called Magnolia Bloom Stamp Set. It is not in the main catalog either, but it matches with the product suite. So I just wanted to pull that out real quick and just show you. This is the stamp set it matches. So if you have Good Morning Magnolia, you might want to get Magnolia Bloom stamp set because it's got some nice coordinating greetings. Look at the happy birthday. And even though this has thanks, there's a thank you. So you can use these all together. So it's great. But for a beginner, you also have this $48.50 price point, and it has all the things that you would need to create these cards right here. So it's kind of neat that they have that available. Here is another stamp set, and this is Celebrate with Cake stamp set. And I believe this one is in the catalog. Let me just double check. Oh, the one thing I didn't, oh no, I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. Celebrate with Cake is another stamp set that is not available in the main catalog. So it's a cute stamp set too. So that would be another stamp set that you can get that is not available in the annual catalog, but is available online. And it, again, a nice price point, $46.50 for all the things that you need to stamp these cards up here. And then we have the Hoot Hoot Hooray stamp set, which is the one that caught my eye because, you know, of course, I love cutesy things. And so here's my little owl. Isn't he cute? And then we have the little happy birthday cupcakes. We've got a little teddy bear in a rocking chair, a cloud with hearts coming down from it. You've got a little flower stamp with You Made My Day, and a little For You with stars, which could be maybe a good one for a tag. And so these just make really cute little cards. And now we've got these ones are meant to color, so the price point's a little higher. It's $60, but still within a reasonable range of things that you can all coordinate to get together. So I just love this little brochure, so I thought I would point it out. And if you have any questions about it, just let me know. I do have the link to the Hoot Hoot Hooray stamp set and on my supply list on my blog post. Okay, that was a lot of blabbing that I normally don't do, but I knew some of you would wonder where this stamp came from once I stamped it. So here is the stamp set again. It's called Hoot Hoot Hooray. And you know what? I don't even know how much I paid for it. Let me bop on over to my blog and I will tell you. In the US anyway, I don't have the Canadian pricing or the pricing from other markets. In the US it's $21. So it's a pretty good price point, and it, you know, has a lot of fun images and I love it. Okay, so let me show you how I made this card and how I'm going to make it a little bit differently. So I decided that this might be a good back to school card too. I know we associate owls sometimes with being wise, and so they're often used like as an image for back to school. So I've got a little piece of Whisper White right here. This measures 3.5 by 4.5 inches. And what I did is I took the owl stamp, and it actually has the greeting right underneath the owl stamp, but I just cut them apart. Very easy to do, to cut in between. So now they're on two different blocks, which makes it a lot easier for stamping. I've got a little piece of, this is Daffodil Delight cardstock. This piece measures 4.5 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And this is going to be my banner that comes across here. So I'm going to just use this as a little tool to help mark. I'm going to put a pencil mark. I'm lining up the banner piece, or the Daffodil Delight piece, with the bottom of my Whisper White. And I'm just going to make myself a little pencil mark just above it. So now I know where to stamp my owl. I need to stamp it above that pencil mark. I'll take my Memento ink, Tuxedo Black, and I'm going to stamp this guy right about here, right very close to the right hand side. I stamped him straight on, and then maybe this one's a she owl. So let me turn this a little bit so she is to the left a little. And then my last owl, who shall remain gender neutral, will be stamped to the right. There. So that's pretty easy to lay out the owls. Right, left, top, and you kind of just turn them around so they're not all facing in the same direction. Then let's go ahead and, since I have the black out, let's go ahead and take care of my banner right away. I'm going to use my banner triple punch. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to slide this down so I can see it through this side. This span right here is 1 inch, so it doesn't quite fit. It's a little loosey-goosey, so it's easier for me to turn this around, just put it down the 1 inch slot underneath, and then I can just kind of eyeball it, make sure it looks centered, and then give it a punch. So I've got the little banner punch. So how did I manage to line up the Hoot Hoot Hooray on the banner? I stamped it 3 times. So let me ink it up, and I'm going to start in the bottom right corner, and I'm going to make sure that it is inked up. Bottom right corner, stamp it down there. Then I'm going to line up the right side of my stamp with a Hoot Hoot and just put it right above there. And it doesn't matter if this is a little crooked because these owls are like party owls. So I don't even mind if it's a little bit crooked. It's not supposed to be 100% exact. If you can get it exact, that's fine too. But you know, I didn't worry too much about it because it's kind of just like a lot of energy. These owls are flying around. Hoot Hoot Hooray. It is not a precise card. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's not a precise card. Okay, I'm going to erase my little pencil mark. And then I'm going to bring in some different colors because this card was a little bit too neutral for me. I was making it last night. I was tired. I guess I picked kind of soothing neutral colors. This morning I was like, I think I needed a brighter card. So let's choose some brighter colors. So I'm going to start off. This is my Real Red Stampin' Blends. It's the light. So I'll come along and just hit it with my Real Red blends. I'm only using my light because I am lazy. No, I could use my darkened shade, but I'm just going to use my light this morning just for time purposes. So I'm just coming in and just avoiding the eyes. And then just coming around here. I have to tell you an interesting thing that's happened over the past few days too. We have a cat in our neighborhood, and it's a beautiful Norwegian forest cat. And this cat, we've lived here 5 years now, and this cat, it was one of the first critters to welcome us to the neighborhood. It was very dead when we arrived here. I'm just going to shade some areas a little bit with the same marker. And anyway, this cat, his name is Swiss. He's very sweet. And my son cat sat him sometimes. And right now his owners are away, and I'm switching to Daffodil Dark. And so he remembers us, and sometimes he comes to visit us. But this week he's been coming to visit us like several times a day. And he gets mad at me when I don't have time to visit with him. So I've been kind of stopping what I'm doing and spend like 10 minutes with him here and there. So I understand those people who have cats. Maybe you have a cat and you're working, and they just, they stop and they want attention. And when they want attention, they want attention right then and there. You have to give them some attention. And I'm experiencing a little bit of that. Even though I don't have a cat, he just kind of comes outside and kind of meows at my door, and I feel bad. He's a real sweet guy, though. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cat. But this week I'm really busy too. They seem to know that, I think. When you're really busy, they want to come by and spend more time with you. All right. This is Night of Navy Light. And I'm using the brush tip each time I'm doing this, just to kind of keep it easy and to make it go faster. When I hold this marker, the Stampin' Blends, I always hold it on an angle so I'm not breaking down that brush tip. The neat thing about this, if you were doing this for a classroom or something like that, I would have the kids color their own owls, maybe. They can color them whatever color they want, and then you don't have to color them. But I think that would be kind of a cute, like, welcome back card. I would just do note cards then. I wouldn't do any other layers. I would just use our note cards and envelopes, and then they can color their own Hoot Hoot Hooray. I'm kind of thinking like Hoot Hoot Hooray. It's like back to school time, yay. All right, so that's basically it. All I did was just coloring those three with primary colors, right? I don't know. We always do that too, kind of. It's with schools, you do like primary colors, owls, apples. I know it can seem a little bit boring, but they're very kind of iconic images, so why not? All right, how do we finish off this card? So you're going to need a card base. I'm going to use Pacific Point, and this is 11 by 4 1/4, scored in half at the 5.5 inch mark. Then you fold it. This is a piece of the Brights Designer Series paper. They come in a 6x6 pack, and this is again the Pacific Point. This piece measures 4 1/4 by 5. So we're going to layer this on here. I'm going to use snail this time. Change it up. I always use Tombow, but I'm changing it up. Okay, snail. And I need to stand up when I do this with the layers. I need to be right on top of everything. So I'm just going to kind of center it from top to bottom. Well, it's somewhat centered from top to bottom. And then this piece is going to come over here on this side. My Stampin' Blends did bleed through, but it doesn't matter because you won't see this side, right? So then I'm centering this from top to bottom, but it's on the far right side. Okay. And then we're going to take our little banner piece and stick that on as well. I really simplified this card a lot from the original. Maybe too because I was really busy yesterday and I was just going, oh, craziness, right? So I wanted to have a little bow up at the top of this card too. So this time I thought white would go well because white goes with everything. And this one had crumb cake accents, so linen thread worked well. But this time I used white twine. And I'll use a mini glue dot. So you can use a paper piercing tool or some sort of pointy tool, but you can also just take your dot and kind of roll it into a little blob. I don't know if you can see that. And then you can stick that on the corner. The blob just helps a little bit because a mini glue dot would be too wide for the center of this knot. So if you create a little blob and then stick that knot right in the center, then you won't have adhesive really sticking out the sides. It's kind of more contained into one area. And there is the finished card. So what do you think? Do you like the neutrals owls or do you like the flashy owls? What kind of mood are you into today? Are you into nice kind of soothing tones or do you want like bright, exciting? I don't know. It is, I don't know. Today I kind of feel like this card because everything's kind of going crazy right now. But at night I want this card because I want to like settle down. So anyway, there you go. I'm going to switch back over to my other camera. There I am. Okay, let me read some of these comments. I kind of save your comments and questions until the end because sometimes it's kind of disruptive for people watching the playback if I'm like talking to people that aren't there. So let me go ahead and just scroll back and, someone, Michelle asked me how I did my awesome countdown clock. So, you know what? I've never watched to see what it looks like on Facebook. So that's really interesting that it shows up as a countdown clock. I need to go check that out. But I use a program called eCam Live. And I've just been using it for a few weeks now. I'm still getting the hang of it. I'm still not 100% perfect, but I can schedule my Facebook Lives through there. So I guess it's creating a countdown clock. It creates a countdown clock for me too, which is really good because I was so busy that I'm like, okay, I must get going on as soon as I schedule it, I scheduled it 10 minutes before. So I'm there and I'm like rushing around to get it done. My desk was covered in stuff. It's just crazy right now. Being gone for 2 weeks in July, it just kind of added to the whole thing. And I thought, basically my son and I have a plan, and my husband too, but I'm more involved with the logistical stuff of my son going off to college. And we've been gradually getting stuff ready for college. And I really didn't factor the wisdom teeth thing into the whole equation. And that always takes some time. And, you think, oh, it's just scheduling appointments. But, we schedule 2 appointments and then there's the insurance to deal with. And, it is a lot of thought and stuff goes into each of those things. And then when he's back after his teeth extraction tomorrow, then there'll be a whole nother thing to go on. And so it just adds to your life. So I was really crazy busy. I'm glad there is a countdown clock because there is one for me too. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, check out the software I got. It's called eCam Live. And it allows you to have multiple cameras. So I've got the camera on my laptop, which I'm using right now. And then I have a separate camera that I use for the down view. It's kind of how I wanted to have it because when I was doing it before, I had to kind of flip back and forth between the two. And this allows me to have things like pictures that I can put in and more flexibility and more features. So check it out. All right. Good morning to everyone who's joined me. I have people from Washington, South Carolina, New Jersey, New York. Oh, I'm glad you love the owls. And it's good that we have these owls because guess what? You might not even see them because you don't see them in the catalog. And so that's why I wanted to point them out to you. So, So Betty says she likes both cards. They're very different looking just by changing the colors. Very true. The one was very neutral, very neutrals. Yeah. And Amy says she loves the suggestion of the kids coloring the card. Yeah, I think that would be really fun. You can have your card sitting out. Let me pop over to my cards again. You can have the card sitting out the like a sample card, but kids don't follow samples. They just color to the heart's content. You could use like neutral colors, but I think this works well. You know what I would do actually though? I would just stamp these right on some note cards. That's what I would do. I would stamp those owls for them on the note cards and then let them color them. So they wouldn't have like a base, like a card base like this. It would just be regular note cards, and then they can just color them with whatever colored pencils or crayons, and it could just be like a little welcome back card. And you know, you could, as a teacher, I've never been a teacher, but I was a librarian, and I did I wasn't a children's librarian, but I volunteered at my son's school, and I was the substitute librarian sometimes. So I kind of have a feel for schools a little bit, but I'm not a teacher. But say you were going to do like a welcome message for the kids to take back home, you could like put that inside the card, like, you know, just paste it inside the note card, and then the owls could be on the front, and they get to color the owls, and then that gets handed to the parent. Kind of fun, I think, you know, a little thing. And there's some other cute images in that as well. I don't know if you would have time to let the kids stamp, but because you want, you know, a nice clean image, you know, for them to color. So this time I would probably do the stamping for them, but it's not hard to stamp with a stamp set because it is like a big bold lines, but just really cute. I just love that stamp set. Okay, I'm back. I'm coming back. There I am. Okay, well, I don't see any other questions, so I hope you guys have a great week. I will be really busy with my BOGO sale. I have things I want to show you, so if I have time, I will pop on and do either a YouTube live or a Facebook live later this week, but I have to now go check all my emails that came in last night and get those little taken tags put up on my sale for people that have reserved things overnight, and then I have some things to process for people that have ordered. So anyway, have a great week, guys, and if you ever have any stamping questions, please just contact me, email me, post to me. All right, have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.